Mark and Paulette here, the two travelers in Mexico, and today we are here with a subscriber and our new friend Jerry. And I got to tell you, Jerry pranked us a little bit. We'd never seen him before, hadn't seen any pictures, so he said, we arranged for a meeting place, and he said, I'm tall like Mark and have blonde hair. Well, he's not tall like me, and it's been a long time since there's been any blonde hair up there.
Quite a bit a long time.
Quite a bit a long time,
Yeah.
but we thought it was funny, and we were just like instant friends after that. So we're going to talk to Jerry about his experience here. Jerry, you have some family roots here, so I wonder if you could talk a little bit about that.
Yes, I have 3 sisters living here in San Luis Potosi. At one point, all of my family was living here in San Luis Potosi. And at a certain point, I moved back to the States when I was 21 years old, and I've been living there since.
You were born in Mexico?
I was born in San Luis Potosi, yes.
Okay. And at some point, your parents took you to the United States. Was that Chicago?
I was 1 year old when they took me to Chicago, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Notice that Jerry still looks the same after all these years. And then you decided, well, actually your parents decided that you were going to come back here.
Yes, like in 1970, my parents sent me back to Mexico, to San Luis. And I was here for approximately 6 years.
6 years?
Yes.
And you went to college here?
I went to high school. And 2 years of college.
Okay. Now, Jerry, you've been, obviously you were born here, and you've made many trips back here to San Luis.
Yes,
tell us a little bit about the change that you've seen.
It's been from night and today. It's San Luis has grown extensively, and I was telling Mark and Paulette that when I left, there's a park, Morales, where there was really the borderline where it just cuts off and it was just land, hill. And now it's just keeps going, and it seems like it connects to Jalisco.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's grown a lot. I was very surprised.
Yeah, Parque Morelos, there's a lot beyond that now.
Yes, it is.
And he was also telling me that the streets that you walk on, the one where
Zaragoza.
Yeah, where Jesse was just playing.
Yeah.
That used to be where cars would pass.
Yeah.
And
around here, Plaza de Armas. Yes.
Yeah. A lot of this area is now pedestrian only, but it used to be
traffic
for vehicular traffic.
Yes.
We are sitting in Plaza de Armas with the beautiful Cathedral de San Francisco.
Yes.
In the background, if you can see the church steeples back there.
Yes.
And the gazebos over here.
And the gazebo, or some people call it the kiosk, is over there.
Yes.
You coming back here and seeing all of the big changes and stuff. And you still have sisters and brothers that live in the area, or at least sisters.
Sisters, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. When I left, I had friends here too. But now, either they moved away to another state, or they're passed on.
Yeah.
And so now, well, I should say, let me backtrack. I still have friends because Paulette and Mark are here.
That's
so
right.
yes,
You have two friends now.
Yes, and the only people that really are left is family. Cousins. I have tons of cousins, and it's I would say over 100. And it's nice to come back and see the family.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
And then he also was giving me a little bit of history. He's saying that it was your uncle, right?
My cousin.
Or your cousin.
Yeah.
For 2 weeks.
Yes. If some people are watching this from San Luis Potosi, in the 1970s, if you remember the name Fausto Zapata Loredo, he was the governor for San Luis for approximately 2 weeks. And I won't go into the story, but yes, it was interesting. Yes, it was very interesting. Yeah.
So 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
He was
Actually, it was forced out. Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
culturally, what changes have you seen here, if any?
Well, the culture itself hasn't really changed. It's more the people that change. Yes. There's more. How should I put it? Beggars on the street, which is it's sad because I mean, as the town grows, it seems like people get poor and housing is not really there for them, and it's really sad.
Yeah.
It's very sad. And we were just talking about it that there's women with kids on the street begging, and that I used to see that when I was here, but not as frequently as I see it now.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's a tough thing for Paulette and I too. When
Yes.
you see these kids that are on the street begging or panhandling,
Yes.
when you know they're of age, they should be in school.
Yes. Exactly.
So how do you break that cycle? How do you get these kids into school? For future generations going
Yes.
forward and getting them out of that cycle of panhandling on the street, getting
know.
an education and bettering
Yes.
themselves.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
There's that aspect of it, and then there's also the other aspect, I think, where you wonder, do they come out here and beg because they make more money just panhandling like that on the same corner all the time? It's tough because I always wonder, should I contribute to that or should I not? And
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
tough, especially when the little ones are there with them.
Right.
That's where I have the
Yes.
hard time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. And also that there's it's very hard. Somehow the culture in Mexico is that you only get a job if you know somebody working at a certain place, and that's a sad part, that it's a fact that you only get into a company if you know somebody, and that's reality.
Who you know,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So the last time you were here, Jerry, you said it was 3 years ago?
3 years ago. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
and you came for how long?
I came for 2 weeks. And now I only come for 1 week, and I'm regretting it because there's not enough time.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Especially when you meet people like Paulette and Mark. I wish I could spend more time with them.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah, we do too.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's my new bestie.
Yeah.
But he will be coming back again.
God willing, yes. Next year, you have the dates.
Yeah.
So
Hopefully we'll have the pleasure of meeting your family next time around.
But he's only coming for a short time
4
too,
days.
only 4 days.
believe me, I will do the impossible
Okay.
to
Yeah.
meet up with you guys. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yes.
You're too kind. So, would you ever consider moving to Mexico?
I would,
Yeah.
but not my wife.
Yeah.
No, she won't. No.
No.
Yeah. She just will find it very difficult for the slow pace
Yeah.
of not only San Luis but
Yeah.
all Mexico. Very slow. Yeah. And sadly to say this, but I'm used to living in a fast pace too, and my wife is too.
Yeah.
Go, 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 go.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, I like to be on time.
Yeah.
When people tell me I'm going to be there, I expect you to be there
Yeah.
at a certain time. I'm sorry. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that is different about Mexico, isn't
Yes.
it, Jerry?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I see it in my sisters. They tell me they're going to pick me up at a certain time, and they don't.
Yeah. And if you're invited to go somewhere, or they say come over at this time, something's going to start. That's not always the case. A lot of
No.
times it doesn't happen for an hour and a half.
Yes.
2
Something like
hours,
that. So it's
yeah.
very rare when you do go to a party, right, that it's going to
Yeah.
start on time, or
Yes.
to an event, or you know, whatever. Like you said, your sister said, "Oh, I'm on my way," and then you waited, and it's like, "Hey, are you coming? Oh, I'm on my way."
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So that's just a whole different side of Mexico.
If you get invited to a party, make sure you eat before you go,
Yeah.
because you have to
Yeah.
wait a long time.
Yeah.
That's true too. Like,
Oh, if that part is uncomfortable for you about like me asking you, like, would you move here? Because I know that your wife doesn't want to move here. I can leave that out.
No.
Like, you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Yes.
So.
Yeah. Because my wife would tell you the same thing.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
for someone that's looking to move to Mexico, Jerry, what advice would you have for them?
Patience.
Yeah.
Tons of patience.
and this is coming from somebody that was born here in Mexico. He
Yeah.
knows Mexico
Yes.
very well.
Yeah.
And I lived here, you know, and but yeah, I have a lot of patience.
Uh-huh.
And sadly to say, I lost mine a long time ago. Yeah, but it is, yeah. You have to be patient, and when people tell you I'm going to be there now, well, you better sit down because you better
Yeah.
wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't plan around it because
Don't plan, no.
Mañana, like we've always said, it doesn't necessarily mean tomorrow. It just means not today.
Right, exactly.
It might not even be next week either.
Yes.
But people just accept that and roll with it.
Yes.
Here anyway. But
Yeah.
you know that's difficult for a lot of people coming from the U.S. and other countries who expect things to happen boom, boom, boom.
Yes. Yes.
Well,
That's a
and
hard
it's not,
adjustment.
and like we've talked about on our videos before, it's not always the first try you do something. It might be the second try, or
Yes,
maybe the third
third
time,
try.
because maybe they told you that you needed, you know, A, B, and C, but
Yes.
not the, you know, D
Yeah.
part, and so you come back, and now you got to do
Yeah.
the D part, and then you go again. And,
Yes.
You know, it's not uncommon.
Yes.
It's very much
Uh-huh.
like that. So I wanted to ask you something too. When you come back with your daughters and your grandsons,
Yes.
all that, will it be their first time visiting Mexico, or have they been here before?
My whole family's been here except my grandkids.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. So it's going to be new to them.
Yeah.
They think San Luis Potosi is another Playa del Carmen, which is not. They
Which
expect
is
a
not.
beach, no, which is not. And that's what I tell them is it's just a town, and there's no beaches. Yeah, there will be a pool at the hotel, but yeah, they
Yeah.
expect something different.
Yeah.
But my son-in-law and my two sons-in-laws and my daughters, they like San Luis.
Uh-huh.
They like San Luis Potosi, and they like the town. Yeah. And not only that, especially they come to visit the family. You know, because my sisters really hadn't had the chance to take time to know my daughters. Because if we come, it's only been a week or something,
Yeah.
you know, and then we have to go back.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's they want to come back. Yeah.
Good.
So
And you know, like you were saying, San Luis is so different than living like anywhere on the coast. As an example, it's just a complete. It's
Yes,
number
it
one,
is.
It's a different climate, different environment.
yes,
Not a huge expat community here in San Luis, whereas there are places like Puerto Vallarta.
San
you know,
Miguel de
other
Allende,
areas,
San Miguel de
Yeah.
Allende.
Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So it's I think it's a different experience because of that.
Yes, it is. As a matter of fact, my son-in-law, one of them, wants to visit San Miguel de Allende when we come. And even though we're going to be here for 4 days, I already have somebody that's going to take us for 1 day to visit San Miguel de Allende.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
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 All right.
He's into history,
Yeah.
and yeah, he loves it.
But that's good. I mean, 1 day there, I think, is enough to give somebody that feel of what San
Yeah.
Miguel's
Yeah.
about.
Yes, yes, yes.
It's
yes.
not a real big town
Yeah.
by any means.
right.
No.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
a beautiful place. I mean, it is beautiful.
It is absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
and that's the thing that I always say about Mexico, like San Luis Potosi, it's beautiful, you know, and then you go somewhere else like San Miguel, and it's beautiful. It's like every every place that we visit is unique in their own way.
Right.
The
Yes.
beauty,
Right.
you know, and everything is just so unique. It's so hard to say, you know, like which is the best.
Right.
Each city has its own beauty and its own charm.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And that's what makes, I think, Mexico really special in
Yes.
that way, because you can go from place to place and just experience new things, different
Yeah.
things, different cultures.
Yes.
And it's all just amazing. You know, Paulette and I feel so fortunate to be able to live here and call Mexico our home, and specifically San Luis our home too.
Well, let me tell you what makes San Luis special, okay? People like Mark and Paulette, okay, good citizens of this state. Yes.
I'd like to point out we did not pay him to say that either. That was not a paid advertisement. He
No.
willingly volunteered it.
Yes, yes. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart, because I have kept in touch, especially with Paulette, and I told Paulette a couple of months ago, I'm coming to San Luis and I'm going to meet you guys, and I finally did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finally got a message from him that he was here,
I'm here.
and we picked a time that would
Yeah.
work, and that's what we're doing
Yeah.
now.
So next time I am going to bring a wig, blonde wig.
Blonde wig. Yeah. And shoes that give you about another foot or so in height.
Stilts. Wear some stilts.
Yeah. Wear
Yeah.
some stilts. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So is there anything else you want to say about San Luis to anybody,
Or Mexico in
or
general.
Mexico in general, or what would you? I don't know.
Quiero saludar a todos los potosinos que están viendo a YouTube, a Paulette y Mark, que vengan a darse una visita a San Luis. Que vengan a visitar aquí esta ciudad que es tan bella y tienen amistades como Mark y Paulette. Vengan.
Así es, amigo.
De nada.
Well, maybe Jerry will be in our next video when he comes back. We'll see him again and maybe put him and his family in it and see what they have to say,
Yeah. Yeah.
get their thoughts, opinions.
Yes. And God willing, I will be here with visiting them. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm in the frame too. We're all in the frame.
Well, how can you be in a frame if you're behind the
My
camera?
chair's in the frame.
Okay.
My chair right there.
All right.
I like that.
You're always looking at me funny. Why is that?
And as always, from the two travelers in Mexico.
What she did.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Not blonde.